Ally, meet Kendra. Kendra, meet Ally.
Hi. Have we really never met?
I feel like we have, but I don't know if that's true or if it was just that I like saw you around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew you existed.
Yeah.
Basically a celebrity.
Now here's proof.
Yeah.
Guys, I watched this in 4K.
Whoa.
All four of the Ks.
Hey, save it
That's
for the pod.
pretty
I'm so you're right.
Okay.
You're right. Okay. Hey, all you nostalgic witches. I'm Nick.
And I'm Ally.
I'm Kendra. Welcome to a special Halloween crossover between 902 Here We Go.
And But Have You Tried from the David A. Howe Public Library.
Today we're discussing the Walt Disney Pictures film Hocus Pocus.
Finally happening.
I know. Did you ever think this day would come? If you're not a regular listener to But Have You Tried, Ally and I alternate having the other one try something that they've never tried before. But in the third cycle of that, we always pull something from the magic. Usually it's a Darth Vader mug. This time it was a Frankenstein cloth basket. And Hocus Pocus was in there. And I mean, if you do listen to that podcast, you know that we were not happy about it. So this is a movie that I've avoided, Ally has avoided, and I know that Kendra loves. So when we pulled it out, it was like,
Love
well,
it.
of course, we have to have Kendra. And I did my research, and we do have a cast member in common, both with 90210 and with Hocus Pocus. So I think that justifies a crossover, don't you?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it does.
Plus, we need someone to like shine the light of Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
here to do that.
Just carry that Halloween spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, Kendra, take it away.
All right, well, let's check out The Beverly Beat. This movie was released in theaters on July 16th, 1993.
Okay.
I was but a wee 2-year-old when this came out.
Ally still had some time left before she
Yeah.
appeared on the scene. So
Yeah. Birthdays, July 8th, David Corenswet, who played Superman in the 2025 film, was born.
born.
I'm older than
year.
him?
I guess
Oh,
so.
gross.
Yeah. Welcome to it, Kendra. It's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. Ally, you just rewatched this movie.
I did.
How did it work for you?
It held up to a rewatch for sure.
Okay.
And
That's
I
good.
mean, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. I will never not think that's the best Lois Lane casting possible.
she's a
basically.
good Lois.
It's
Pretty
perfect.
great.
What are
It's
your
pretty
feelings
great.
on this movie overall, Kendra? Are you a fan?
I loved it. Yeah, I thought it was
Okay.
really, really good. And my husband loved it. He's watched it since it came out on
Streaming
since
or
it's
whatever.
Streaming, yeah.
Mhm.
And pretty much every night he's like, "Should we watch Superman again?"
Okay.
So
Well,
I
there you
keep
go.
having to stop him from watching it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
July 15th, Brian Austin Green turned 20.
Ally and I play a fun game where I try to guess something that she might have seen with an actor in it, but I don't know if I could come up with anything for Brian Austin Green.
That's definitely a name I
Yeah.
don't recognize.
Okay.
So,
Did you watch
Have you
Smallville? Did you
seen-
watch
I was going to
Smallville? I
say,
knew
have you
about
seen
Smallville.
Smallville?
No, she hasn't.
I
don't-
always intended to watch Smallville,
Yeah.
but I
He's
just
great
didn't.
in Smallville. In the
Yeah, he is.
one
He's
episode he's
Metallo.
in.
All right.
Yeah. July 16th, Annalyn McCord, who plays Naomi in the CW years, turned 6. Movies. July 16th, Free Willy, starring Jason James Richter and Lori Petty, was released in theaters.
Loved Free Willy. He had a necklace that he wore, and the VHS came, like, you could get the special like clamshell, and it came with that necklace. I loved it, and I definitely wore it.
Of course.
Yeah. Have you seen Free Willy? Have you seen
I think that's like the orca.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay, there you go.
July 23rd, Another Stakeout, starring Richard Dreyfuss, Emilio Estevez, and Rosie O'Donnell, was released.
This is weirdly one of my all-time favorites. The movie Stakeout with Richard Dreyfuss and Emilio Estevez is not great, and it's like R-rated. It's very serious. They're like undercover cops. Not really a comedy. Sort of like buddy comedy vibes now and then. Another Stakeout is just an all-out farce, jokey kind of thing.
Yeah, they were like, bring in Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah,
and
basically.
make it a comedy.
And like this one is PG. I don't know. It's weird because I watched Another Stakeout a million times. And when I finally watched Stakeout, I was like, how did one beget the other? You know, it's odd. Anyway.
TV, May 19th. Beverly Hills 90210 aired the 2-part commencement episode where the gang graduates high school.
Oh, those were good times, Kendra.
It was.
Do you
Good
remember that?
times.
Serialized
Beverly
plots,
High.
and this is when they when they made the big sign that covered the Hollywood sign that said like West Bev 93.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think you could get on board with 90210.
There's a chance.
I think you could. Maybe you'll have to butt heavy.
Donna Martin
sometime.
graduates.
Woo!
All right, Nick, take us beyond the zip code.
Okay. Sarah Jessica Parker appears in the film as Sarah Sanderson, but would go on to star in another popular Darren Star created series, and that is, of course, Sex and the City, where she starred as Carrie Bradshaw. She stayed with the role for the entire original run, 2 feature films, and the recently departed spin-off series, and just like that.
Amok, 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 amok.
I don't get the reference. What does that mean?
You just watched the movie.
Oh, sorry.
Amok,
From
amok.
Hocus
Oh.
Pocus. Hocus Pocus. I was thinking Sex in the City, and I didn't understand. Have you watched Sex in the City? Anybody in this
I've
episode?
never
I have
seen
not.
Sex in the City.
Okay. I have seen a handful of episodes.
When it came out, I was very much not allowed to watch such things. So,
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah.
never
Never got around to it. Okay. I'm not sure how much it holds up or if it's aged well. I don't know.
I would like to know if I'm a Miranda.
That's
Is that one of the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I don't know the other
I don't know
names.
which one you are. If that's what you're looking for, I can't help you. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right, let's take a look at our wiki synopsis for Hocus Pocus. After moving to Salem, Massachusetts, teenager Max Dennison, played by Omri Katz, explores an abandoned house with his sister Danny, played by Thora Birch, and their new friend Allison, Vanessa Shaw. After dismissing a story Allison tells as superstitious, Max accidentally frees a coven of evil witches, played by, of course, Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy, who used to live in the house. Now, with the help of a magical cat, the kids must steal the witch's book of spells to stop them from becoming immortal.
Yeah, that's the plot.
That is the plot. I feel like that's a very good summary.
It is. It's concise.
It
It's
covers
full.
all of the main points.
Yeah.
All right, who's living in Beverly Hills?
Okay, so this was directed by Kenny Ortega. I assume no relation to Jenna Ortega.
I don't think so. No,
Well, that's
it's good to
disappointing,
check,
but
but
you know.
I don't think so.
Written by Mick Garris and Neil Cuthbert. That's kind of a fun name.
Yeah.
The 90210 alums include Kathleen Freeman as Miss Olin. Is that the like teacher?
Yes.
Who's like, here's the story.
Yes.
Of
When we're
Salem."
done with the flashback. Yeah. And I recognized her instantly. Kendra, did that mean anything to you when you saw that? Did you recognize her for 90210?
No, I don't think
Okay.
I ever have. No.
Okay. It's not a huge part, but it's in the season 2 episode Anaconda. This is when Dylan was in one of his binges and was getting into gambling and ran out of money and kept running back to a pawn shop to try to sell more and more things. She was the pawn shop lady who got progressively more angry with Dylan, and it became sort of a comedy of errors over the course of that episode. But she's also been in a million things. But yes, she is our link between the worlds of 90210 and Hocus Pocus.
I'm
And we'll
impressed that
take
there
it.
is a link.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it takes some research, Allie. I'm a professional when it comes to
Just deep in the
foxing
IMDb
out these
rabbit hole.
connections. Yeah, it's exactly what it was. Yes. But anyway, continue. Who else do
Okay.
we have?
As far as the main cast, we've got Betty Midler as Winifred.
Did you say
Sanderson.
Betty?
Yes.
It's
Oh, you
Bette
said-
Midler.
Is it Betty?
Oh.
But isn't Betty Davis
Youth.
spelled that way?
Yes. Okay. Yes. But wait, do you not know Bette Midler?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
my God.
no.
Oh my gosh.
Not that I
Kendra.
know of, anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
I'm glad
Surely
you're
you
doing
do.
this because I'm 7 years older than you, Kendra, something like that. So I have a
Okay.
lot of things that I'm like this, and Kendra's like, "What are you talking about?" So it's nice, Kendra, that you can get a taste of
a
that.
taste of the just
With Ally.
the
Yeah.
sheer
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever naivete.
This is this is a multi-generational podcast at this point. So yes, Bette Midler as Winifred Sanderson, of course, Sarah Jessica Parker as Sarah Sanderson, which we've covered.
Kathy Najimy as Mary Sanderson.
I see her and I think Sister Act. I know she was in other things, but Sister Act is the one that comes
Oh,
to mind.
yes. Sister Act is a big one.
Yeah.
I've meant to see that for a long time.
You haven't
and I
seen
have
Sister Act
no
either?
You're coming
I
up
should be
with so
taking
many
notes.
ideas for things for me.
Okay.
So what have
All right.
have I tried?
All right.
Okay, and then we've got Omri Katz as Max Dennison and Thora Birch as Danny Dennison. Then Jason Marsden as the voice of Thackeray Binks.
Right.
But Sean Murphy is his human form.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. That feels like a really weird thing to do.
So
Yeah.
weird. Why would they do that?
I
Well,
don't know. I mean, Jason Marsden is kind of a legendary voice actor from that time. And since Thackeray is like 90% a voice role, maybe they just thought that was more important than the look. But Sean Murphy was familiar to me. Is he in other stuff that you know of, Kendra? Was he like a Disney guy or something?
Not that I know of, but I also wanted
Okay.
to mention that Kenny Ortega is a big name. He's very prolific.
Oh.
I know him because
The director.
yes,
Okay.
he is the choreographer for the High School Musical movies. Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a career.
Yeah.
Talk about range. Kenny
I feel
Ortega.
like being a director and being a choreographer. Like I feel like that's a pairing that you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
normally
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
When the first High School Musical came out, they would do all this behind the scenes stuff on Disney Channel, and they said his name so much it is just like ingrained in my brain, Kenny Ortega. So
Mm.
yeah.
That's something else I've never watched, High School
Oh.
Musical. And I'm kind of surprised. I have seen Sunday School Musical though.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
different.
Like,
I would
I don't
assume.
know.
that's probably
My
in
friends
there.
wanted to watch it when we were having a sleepover, and I was like, sure.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of deep connections, this reminds me that the choreographer and director for the Rodgers and Hammerstein musical Allegro was the same person. That was a big deal. She did both.
Oh.
Her name was Agnes DeMille. But that reminds me that I directed Allegro and you were both in it.
Oh.
You were in Allegro?
Yeah, she
Yeah, I was
one.
one of the dancers.
Yeah, she's one of the
Oh,
dancers
okay.
in the Allegro ballet and stuff like that. But
I
yeah,
would like was skipping around with my baseball bat,
yeah,
which I did set down on the stage once, and it rolled away from me, and I couldn't get it back. And
Yeah.
I was so paranoid for the entire night that it was gonna like roll into the pit and hit one of the band members.
I mean, that would have been funny. But
Yeah.
Kendra, you sang that so far. That's one of it's a great Rodgers and
It's
Hammerstein
such a
song.
weird I'm sure we've talked about it before, but the character that sings that is not in it before or after. She's only there to
Yeah.
sing that one song.
That's what's so interesting about that show because
It's a weird show.
It's a great ensemble show because there are a lot of roles like that where somebody can just sort of appear and have kind of a star moment and then fade back into the
Yeah.
ensemble, which is cool. So anyway, this is an Allegro reunion. We didn't
Yeah.
know it, but
But it's happening.
here we are. Hey, you know what? The second part of this, we're recording with Sally Jacoby Murphy, also in Allegro.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
Oh
it's
my
all
goodness.
coming together.
Halloween brought to you by Allegro. Okay. So that's our cast. Now, as you know, and based on the whole premise of But Have You Tried, we have not tried Hocus Pocus before. Kendra, where does the Hocus Pocus begin with you?
Okay. So when I was a elementary school kid, I went over to a friend's house and she put on Hocus Pocus and I
Okay.
was like, I'm not supposed to be watching this. And I like watched part of it anyway.
Yeah.
And then
Ooh.
got in a little bit of trouble for watching it. And then when I got older, I was like, well, I'm older. I could watch these things now. And it has
Yeah.
become just the Halloween classic. I watch it every October and it just is perfect. It just gets me in the Halloween mood every year.
Okay. Now, that makes a lot of sense to me because as we were like, I was thinking about this, and that was my question. Why were you allowed to watch this witch thing?
I wasn't.
And not like, but this was a rebellious young Kendra
Yes.
watching Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom never would have found out. I like told her. So I didn't really get in too much trouble. And you both have avoided watching it your whole lives somehow.
Yeah. I mean, I have. I don't know if that's true for you.
I didn't know it existed until
Oh.
I started working here.
Oh.
And then I was like talking
Okay.
to some of the other members of the staff, and they were like, yeah, Hocus Pocus, that's a great Halloween movie. And I was like, what are you talking about? I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
And they were like hyping it up. And I was like, that sounds fun. And then I actually showed it at a teen Halloween party a couple years ago, but I didn't watch it because I was like doing teen
other
programming
things.
things.
Yeah.
But it was like playing in the background, and I like got just enough of a vibe of it that I was like, I don't know.
Okay.
And I avoided watching it since then.
I think I was very put off by Bette Midler's teeth.
Mm.
I don't know. Something
They're
about that.
iconic.
I see that and I'm just like, I don't think I need this in my life. And I also grew up in a like you can't watch anything with witches. Like
Oh,
you know,
yes.
the classic example that I was allowed to watch I Dream of Jeannie, but not Bewitched because she was a witch.
I was allowed to watch Harry Potter though. So I guess my parents were over
Well,
it by
that
the
makes
time
no sense.
by the
Okay.
time Harry Potter came out, it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I figured you already saw Hocus Pocus. The damage had
Yeah,
been done.
there's no one doing
Yeah.
that.
So I feel like it's hard for me to judge this movie. And obviously, Kendra, I want to preserve our friendship, so I have to be very careful. But I don't know that this is a movie best enjoyed for the first time in your mid 40s. I
Yeah,
think
maybe not.
there was so many things about it that I was not prepared for. I didn't realize just what a kids movie it was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a little bit more. I also guess I didn't really know that they were like the bad guys. I don't know. There was a lot to take in here.
It is a kids movie, but it's also there's a lot of adult jokes that when you go back and watch it as an adult, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
The whole scene with the guy dressed up like Satan and then his wife and like all
Right.
that stuff.
Yeah, that was all a little risque. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
I did watch this with my son and that kind of stuff.
And I mean, all of Sarah Jessica Parker is quite risque in this
That's true.
Mhm.
in that movie.
Yeah.
So
I don't think my son really picked up on any of that, but he was hyper focused on Thackeray, like the whole, like him turning into a cat and his family not recognizing him. And then he was worried the cat was going to die the whole time. He was not satisfied with the resolution with the cat. He was that really upset him, which I
Yeah.
understand.
Well,
I
there
get.
were a lot of things that it's like, on the one hand, it does feel like it's very much a kid's movie, but like, in addition to some of the like more risque stuff, there was also some stuff like that where I'm like, oh, okay, we just fully start this movie with this girl's soul like being eaten and this guy getting turned into a cat. Like that would have freaked me out as a kid.
yeah.
So it's like,
that's why I wasn't allowed to watch it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some dark stuff if you really think about it. If you're like a kid and you're like la 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 and not thinking about it, then but as you get older, you're like, oh, soul's getting eaten and his sister dies.
I think the thing that's the most hard to swallow is that Thackeray would still have his wits about him after 300 years being stuck as a cat. He'd be crazy by this point.
I do have to point out that as
uncomfortably mad.
As a teen, I was equally in love with Thackeray Binks as a human and with Max Dennison. I was in love with both of them. I don't know. Something about his tie-dye shirt just really got me.
Thought you were going to say Anne Thackeray as a cat too. But...
I thought that was coming too. I feel like they are kind of the same person though, to some degree. It's like, oh, a sister and an older brother getting involved with witches, that's bad. And then it's like 300 years, the same thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's some kind of fun symmetry like that.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
I quote this movie a lot too, like Amok. I feel like I quote that pretty often. There's a part where Sarah Jessica Parker, some kid like calls them weirdos and she's just like weirdos. And I say that a lot too.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of good quotes in this movie.
I've heard a lot of people quote that line from the beginning, something like, oh, another glorious day, it makes me sick, or something like that. I've heard people reference that a lot. And there were a couple other lines that like when they came up, I was like, oh, like that's where this is from.
Looking at it as a Halloween movie, like I understand that there are witches and there are creepy parts to it, but it doesn't feel particularly Halloween-y to me. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it takes place on Halloween and there's kids running around with like candy and like the parents at their Halloween party and stuff.
You're making a lot of sense.
What would feel like, what are your criteria for a movie feeling Halloween?
There's a zombie.
Yeah,
there is a zombie.
Oh, that's true. There's a zombie. Oh, and that's Doug Jones, who is like Saru in Star Trek Discovery and things. So,
okay.
You know, he's in lots of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. I guess I felt like it was a hard pivot for me to like then be following like these new kids like after the whole prologue and everything. And I don't know. I just never really had like a bite into it because it feels like it sort of tipped with the witches, but they're really not the main character. And so I don't know. I just found that a little kooky, I guess. And
were the bullies your favorite characters?
No, Kendra.
What name does he have tattooed, or not tattooed, but shaved into
like
the back of his head?
Hair. It's like ice or something like that.
Well, maybe I should do that then. The next time I'm going to be mean about a movie you like, I'll shave that into my head.
Yeah.
I don't know. Were there standout moments for you, Allie? What are some of the things that you liked about it?
I did think that the like three witches going around town and like the kind of like misunderstandings, I enjoyed some of that. Like the thing where they're getting on the bus and the bus driver is like, oh, wow, great costumes. You guys are dressed up as, you know, whatever. You guys are the Sanderson sisters, right? Yeah. Whatever. And then like, again, when they like meet the devil and they're all like, master, and he like, whatever, they think he's the devil and he's just some guy wearing a costume. Right. And he thinks that they're like getting really into the costume thing, you know? And so, and then it's like, oh, whatever. Max tries to like warn everyone at the party, and then whatever, they just like start singing and everyone thinks that it's like a cool, fun, surprise act. So a lot of that stuff I thought was kind of fun. Them just sort of like bopping around the town and like misunderstandings and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like if the movie had been like more focused on that aspect, it maybe would have like made it a little like higher notch for me.
Yeah, I guess that's part of what I was having trouble with too. I think if it would have just been from their perspective, if they would have been like truly the primary characters, I think I could have like gotten into that a little bit more, because I liked the stuff that focused on them more. I think like the party scene where Bette Midler sings "I Put a Spell on You." I mean, you have Bette Midler, you have to have her sing.
Yeah.
And that was, I thought, a really good use of that. And I thought that scene was genuinely fun.
I agree.
I don't think that it will be a repeat viewing for me. How do you feel about, would you want to watch Hocus Pocus 2 if it was presented to you?
I'm uncertain.
Oh, but you're leaving the possibility open.
I'm not going to outright say no.
Okay.
I would probably lean towards no, but I can imagine a situation in which I would potentially
You could do
watch
it
Hocus
in a
Pocus
group,
too.
maybe a group
setting.
We're all going to watch Hocus Pocus. Okay. What about you, Kendra? I know you love it all, but if you had to pick a standout moment, what would it be?
It's really, really hard to choose. I Put a Spell on You is such a classic scene from that movie.
Yeah, that's fun.
But all the little funny things, like, all of them trying to figure out all the new things in the world, like the road. They've never seen a paved road before, and all that stuff is so funny. And then the scene where she has to ride on a vacuum cleaner is pretty classic.
I did like that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So yeah, it's very hard to choose. I mean, the whole amok thing is also a very classic scene from that movie, and you guys don't even remember it, but you should go back and watch it.
Now that you said it, I remember what you're talking about.
I was trying to think where that was in Sex and the City.
It didn't trigger in my mind.
I understand.
When it happened.
I understand now.
Yeah.
The resolution with Thackeray is kind of going back to some of that darkness. I feel like in most Disney things, he would be like turned back, like when the spell goes away or whatever, he would be like back in his own time or something like that. But they were just like, no, the cat is dead, the kid is dead, and best case scenario, he gets to see his little child sister who is also dead.
Yeah.
So.
But they get to be together again. And isn't that nice?
They get to be together again. It is. It's heartwarming.
Yeah. I also love that you think it's all resolved and then they didn't fully burn them in the kiln or whatever. And they come back. And that part where she pops out of the closet always got me. Like, I just think it's such a good jump scare.
Yeah.
That was I was like, ugh. Yeah. That was a very effective.
Yeah.
Jump scare. I actually found it a little annoying that like you think they're successful and they're not. I was like, wait, we're still like, I don't know. I feel like the ultimate resolution was more satisfying than just them being burned in the kiln.
Yeah.
But I felt a little annoyed by the fake out of like, oh, you think everything's fine, and they go back home and they're talking about how whatever, like all their ancestors are going to take care of Thackeray the cat forever and ever. And then it's like, just kidding, some more movie. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But I did find the like final showdown more satisfying. So I guess that makes it worth it.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I went on a similar roller coaster for that journey, so that makes sense. What about the sequel, Kendra? You've seen it, right?
No, I haven't seen it, actually.
What?
I know.
Kendra.
That is really surprising.
But have you tried Hocus Pocus 2, Kendra?
It didn't come out at Halloween, if I remember correctly, so I wasn't in the mood for Halloween, and then I just haven't watched it since. I've heard it's just okay, but I would like to watch it and form my own opinion.
Yeah, well, I guess you have to, and then you can tell me on 902 and Here We Go what you think of it.
Yes.
And, then we'll know for sure. I know there's a couple of books. There was a new like YA book that came out a while back that was like, I don't know if it was a set in the old days or a sequel or something, but that had its moment of popularity. And what are we, like 22 years later? No, more than that. Almost 35 years later, we have a sequel. So, it's enduring as a cult classic is pretty impressive.
Well, and aren't they making a third one?
I do think that's true.
I feel like I heard that.
I have definitely heard rumblings. I haven't seen like it's 100% happening. But,
sometimes you hear it that stuff is going to happen and then it
right.
Happen, but
well, the second part of our episode here on But Have You Tried, we're going to be talking to Sally Jacoby Murphy about the movie What Lies Beneath. That was a second pull from the Magic Frankenstein.
I've seen that one too.
Yeah, that's a good one. So you can find that over in the House Things feed. Kendra, what are we doing here next time on 902 and Here We Go?
You know, Nick, up next we'll be embarking on season 9. It's the end of the world as we know it.
It's another song reference.
It is.
I know that song.
Look at that. Allie got the reference, so that's great.
For once.
Yeah. And now we have to take care of a little business for But Have You Tried?
Yes. So, Nick.
Yeah.
I know you didn't really care for Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
But have you tried making cranberry relish from scratch?
Ooh.
Wow. That is a pivot from Hocus Pocus. I enjoy cranberries, like Thanksgiving style cranberries is what you're talking about?
Well, so okay, like growing up, we always had 2 kinds of cranberry relish. We had the like jelly stuff from the can, and then we had like a homemade, it's almost like a cranberry fruit salad.
Oh.
Both of which we call cranberry relish.
Okay.
But they are different things, and they are both like very important to the Thanksgiving meal.
Okay.
And Thanksgiving is coming. I have this recipe provided by my mother that I will give to you. It's pretty simple. I'm confident that you can handle it.
I believe that I can do it. I mean, I love cranberries out of the can. That's a must for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna dice me up some cranberries.
Perfect.
I'm gonna get knee deep in a cranberry bog and just start
I would
separating
love to
the cranberries from the
bog.
spiders.
That sounds really fun.
It does feel like a thing that you should do
Yeah.
at some point in your life. Okay, well, happy Halloween, everybody. Thanks for crossing over. You can check out our other Halloween episodes here on the Radio Meanwhile Network with This Endorian Life, where we're doing Garfield's Halloween Adventure with, of course, Sally Jacoby Murphy. But that's going to do it for this time. So it was fun podcasting, everybody.
Yeah.
Yay, podcasting.
9021, here we go.